Hello, friends, and welcome to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Today we find ourselves in the Temple of the Bloodspun Web on our ship. We have completed the trial, we walked in the footsteps of the Matriarch Spider, and we have become Blood Warden, whatever that means. I don't know. I am sure we will find out in the future. We do not lead the Bloodspun Web, the Vizier does that, but we do have an honorary title that gives us some measure of importance, I imagine. We are now going to head back to Footfall. We are going to find Solomorne because we need to speak with him. We are going to go to the Shadow Quarters and investigate the area there. Check out trying to find the location of the Anvers, the people who have attacked us twice now, and see if we can't eliminate that particular threat. This is Disabled. My name is Ed, and let's get into it. So here we are at the Bloodspun Web. Let's have a look-see, and there's our exit. Ah, there we go, to another compartment. I looted that one up off camera, by the way, but we did get it fully looted. Death Cultist. A spinner, his face covered in carved, bleeding glyphs, makes a respectful gesture of invitation. Let me show you the way, Domin. Take me to the enforcer in charge of the freight line hub. I have business with him. And Edok Frenso. If you'll recall, we discovered some very disturbing things inside about how the enforcers are acting in the hub. To be perfectly blunt, any form of policing creates an environment where abuse like that takes place, and keeping it on a controlled measure is a extremely difficult thing to do, which is why the method of policing that is enacted even in our current society is very questioned, and people are trying to find alternatives to it, and such as we have discovered here in this bay. Let's talk to Edok. Captain Frenso has acquired a few wounds since your last conversation. Half of his ear is gone, and you notice he is wearing bloodied bandages under his uniform. Seeing you, he quickly injects himself with a stimulant and straightens. How may I serve you, Lord Captain? Were you in a shootout? Yes, there's been a raid on a local gang. We've finally cleared out the scoundrels who were smuggling goods to neighboring compartments. No one escaped. Frenso permits himself a brief smile of grim satisfaction. I came across a drawing of a worker in a red mask. What would you say that means? The captain frowns. It's a figure of local legend known as Nemesite, protector of the poor and oppressed. Ever since I was a child, desperate people have been drawing his portrait on the walls, hoping to summon a defender to punish those who wronged them. We've had 13 or so fools calling themselves Nemesite over the past 5 years. We disburdened ourselves of them, just to be sure. The cultural heritage of this compartment is interesting. The captain shrugs. Not much can be expected from simple-minded suffs. Enforcers have been appropriating ration cards from workers returning from their shifts. Why is that? Are you short on provisions? The compartment has just enough food to avoid starvation, Lord Captain. This is why the enforcers are making sure that no serf has more cards than they're supposed to have. They used to rip out people's tongues for it, but I reduced the punishment to simply beating the thieves and confiscating all their cards. The orders are to give these cards to workers who are starving due to a lack of work shifts. Not that it helps much, but it's better than nothing. Frenso scoffs. Are there enforcers guilty of misappropriating the confiscated items? Yes. Do those caught stealing receive severe punishment? Also yes. Tell me about this station. Hub LD987A14 connects the lower decks freight, residential, and artillery bays. Our task is to monitor the flow of the labor force and prevent supply disruption between bays. And who maintains this hub? Traffic controllers. They're technomats trained by priests of the machine cult to keep the sacred cogitators in working order and prevent train collisions. The consequences of an accident like that would be easy to imagine, especially if one of the trains were carrying macro cannon ordnance. I have learned enough. Always at your service, Lord Captain. Be steadfast in your duty, Captain Frenzo. The Emperor protects, Lord Captain. Okay, I did not mention the attack because there's really nothing else I could have expected to happen in these situations. So I am not going to draw undue ire onto the people who are already acting out because of the situation they find themselves in currently. More punishment and more difficulty would only exacerbate the situation. It certainly would not improve it. We will collect. Indeed, we will. All right, back to the bridge. Let's head back to Footfall. Lord Captain, we are once more within reach of the Von Valancius Protectorate. Of utmost urgency is restoring communication with your planets and bestowing the wisdom of your decrees upon their stewards, developing colonies, claiming new territories, and establishing trade links. All this is now your privilege and burden. Thank you, High Factotum. I'm not sure why you felt the need to have that particular conversation with me. So it has come to my attention that we can have people at posts when we do space attacks. I did a little research on this, and I am not sure how any of this works, but I see numbers and I see positions, and it looks like Cassia is by far the best choice for Supreme Commander, Master Cannoneer, Argenta, Shield Master, ooh, Pascal, Master of Maneuvers. For now, we'll go with Abelard. This is our lowest number so far with 60. So we will see if there's some maneuvering we can do on that. Warp Channeler, Adira, and Master of Etherics. Oh my, okay. Adira is good for that too. What else could we get here? Nothing particularly good. What about Supreme Commander? No, definitely not. Warp Channeler, 35 is the next highest. 50, 60 for, okay. So if I drop, oh yeah, I can put, okay, I'll put me there at 80 because I match Argenta, and then I will bring Argenta to Master of Etherics at 60. She is better than nothing, and better than anybody except for Adira and Cassia. Both of them are much better used in their current locations. So, okay. I don't know what having these people here is going to do. Obviously, they use awareness. It says the post analyzes the ship's auger and Vox systems, always watchful for traces of the warp. Okay. Warp Channeler, the post performs various warp abilities. Well, good. Various warp abilities does not sound particularly definitive, but okay. Master of Maneuvers. Yeah, our athletics is low. We need to get that up, and I'm not entirely sure how to make that happen, but we'll figure that out. Tech use, definitely Pascal. Demolition. And Persuasion. Okay. Oh. Our ship has skill points? Okay. I did not know that. Interesting. Okay, it doesn't look like I can do anything at the moment. Okay, these are already selected. I don't have ability to change them. Components are what they are. Let's upgrade the hull. And upgrade the hull again if we can. The thicker the hull, I assume, the better shape we are in. We have a lance weapon, torpedo tubes, macro cannons, and these are all the same items here, I think. Yes, all the same stuff. Okay, so that is where we are at the moment. Let's go ahead and upgrade the RAM once. Might as well. That's our experience. We are level 1. Okay. I'm seeing a little bit more here. Void ship RAM we have not used. We need to check that out. Okay. So interesting stuff here for ship combat. I need to do some more looking into that because I am not entirely sure what all that's about. But we'll figure it out. At the moment though, let's return to Footfall. We need to go to the atrium because that is where the arbitrator is located. And I like our current team. We need to learn Heinrichs a bit, but at the moment we'll stick with Abelard. We left some loot out here, it would seem. Although we did, this is not where I meant to go. I meant to go to the docks because I need to speak to our arbitrator. Solomorne. I need to speak to Solomorne, and I know where he is located now. Oh, let's go get this loot first, though. Ah, yes, this one. So, this is a puzzle, and we found the piece of it. Let me show you what we need to solve this puzzle. It's the strange memo. So if we go to these locations, we will get a number from them. And each number corresponds to one of the numbers on the keypad. And then we type them in and the gate opens. So let's go look at these locations. Holy Book by the altar. Where is the altar? That's not the altar, though there is a person here we need to talk or we need to look at. So let's do that quickly while we're running through. One of the clerks. Rank 5 functionary Alangar Quaestorus. So there's 5 is that number. And then there is a book that we need to locate. And I probably picked it up already. So let's look at our code again. The Void Dam Customs guy is 5. So the second number is 5. Holy Book by the altar. Here's the altar. Life of St. Drusus, Volume 3. So 3 is our first number. So we have Holy Book by the Altar, 3. Void Dam Customs Guy, 5. Guess what is going to be the one remaining? And then Hanger by the Window. Remember to bow to the Emperor through the window. So that's going to be the one that's not 3 or 5. And where is the window? Hangar implies a place where ships are located, I assume. This is a dock after all, so let's go look for the hangar. By the window. This is not a hangar, this is a bar. Not what we're looking for. Ah, here is a hangar by the window. I assume. There's Solomorne. And what do we have over here? The Cogitator's vid screen is showing partially encrypted records, the call signs of the arbitrators in the task unit, the status of the upcoming operation, and its objectives. Okay, well, I don't know. This may not be the one we're looking for. Oh, nope, that's it, right there. 111, Hangar A1. There we go. So, our numbers are 3, 5, 4, and 1. And we know it's a 4 and not a 2 because the 2 button is broken. So 3, 5, 4, 1. We need to remember that so we can go back and open that and get that loot. Right now, let's talk to Solomorne.
Thank you for responding to my request, Rogue Trader. I'm here on the orders of Marshal Strax to ask for your help. We are in pursuit of a tithe thief. We must board the thief's ship, execute the heretic for his crimes, and return the sacred tribute to the protection of the Adeptus Arbites. The reward for your assistance in this matter will be the thief's frigate, the Heartless, which we will capture in the course of the mission.
It's a pleasure to see you, Solomorne. And you, Glyto.
Glyto, speak! Not every cybermastiff receives a personal greeting from a rogue trader. Such an honor warrants a response.
Why have you approached me and not Winterscale? Rykad Minoris was his world.
I did, and I was rebuffed. As Rogue Trader Winterscale rightly pointed out, from the moment of the tithe's collection, responsibility for it transfers to the Adeptus Arbites. He also noted that the loss of a world is not an inconsiderable detriment to his protectorate, and he has no intention of expending resources to recover something that no longer belongs to him. Under similar circumstances in the past, our arrangement would have obliged us to turn to Lady Theodora. She was a key figure in supporting the Lex Imperialis in the Coronis Expanse.
It is poor form for a rogue trader to refuse to help servants of the law.
It is not for me to judge the Emperor's anointed, not least when I cannot fault his reasoning.
I expect to be well compensated for my efforts, or else I shall be severely displeased. Now tell me the particulars.
Captain Sargona and his flagship, the Heartless, are concealed in Mundus Nullius. The exact location can only be determined with your ship's augurs when we enter the system. The Heartless is escorted by a small flotilla. You'll need to neutralize it in order to capture the frigate. Our BT strike teams will land on the upper deck, while your boarding party handles the remaining bays. My squad of arbitrators will take on the most difficult and dangerous part of the operation. The ultimate goal is to capture the captain's bridge and interrogate and execute Sargona.
Tell me more about this ship you're promising me.
The Heartless is the enemy flagship. It has been corrupted with inhuman technology, but you have the necessary resources to purge it of Xenos filth and make it serve the Imperium once more. Even if you don't wish to own a ship previously crewed by pirates, you will have prospective buyers lining up to take it off your hands. I'm no expert on ships, but when I questioned the captains on Footfall about the Heartless, they were almost salivating as they listed its virtues.
Purifying and removing a ship equipped with blasphemous modifications from the hands of apostates is the sacred duty of all servants of the Omnissiah and of the Emperor.
So you're offering me a ship that I have to capture myself? That's hardly a profitable bargain, is it?
What I am offering is the coordinates of your future trophy and a team of arbitrators to help you take the vessel. You will be enriched, and you will be continuing the alliance formed by Lady Theodora with the Adeptus Arbites. It is for you to judge the value of this opportunity.
Counteroffer. I get the ship, and an arbitrator joins my retinue as well.
I do not have the power to choose my assignments, Rogue Trader. However, if the mission is successful, the Marshal is unlikely to refuse to deploy me as your escort.
I see. Tell me more about this thief.
Stein, transfer the latest data. Bryce, hologram. This one has the complete file.
Give me the rundown on Sargona.
He is a former privateer and a fugitive psyker. At one time, he was involved in the coal trade and the supply of Xenos mercenaries, but his pirate habits got the better of him, and he started robbing his associates. Now, even among the criminal rabble, he is known as a nasty piece of work. Something of an achievement, you will agree. Sargona is cunning, cruel, and unpredictable.
Let's look at the file. Sentenced, Guido Sargona, homeworld unknown. Psyker, specialty pyromancy. Formerly sanctioned, abandoned his post on a privateer ship and joined the pirates. Confirmed links, Casbalica, Xenos, allegedly heretical cults. Also implicated in at least 15 attacks on trading vessels. Status alive. Study the hologram. The image quality leaves something to be desired, but you can make out the criminal's surfeit of augments and sumptuous clothing. There is something haughty, almost maniacal in his bearing, like the tyrants who sooner or later proclaim themselves gods. Solomorne, how are you so well informed?
Shortly after the fall of Rakad Manoris, I questioned the Liege of Footfall. He supplied me with exhaustive information about Sargona and his ship, and gave the arbitrators full access to the docks. I suspect Takara's compliance stems from some bad blood between him and Sargona. Scum eating scum. Nothing new there.
That'll do.
As you wish.
Any tactical recommendations for the assault?
The task is relatively simple. Kill all enemies we encounter, and not let them kill us. Sargona must be taken alive for questioning, but I and my team will handle that. There is one other thing. The following call signs will be used for Vox communication during the mission. You will be RT1, and I will be DX1. I also request you use RBT sign language throughout. Non-verbal commands are faster than speaking, and will allow us to catch our target unawares. Here is a short list.
You have a deal.
Good. Do you have any further questions?
I may have other matters to attend to en route to the Mundus Nullius. Will you be able to accompany me?
No. I'm still on mission, and in your absence, my subordinates and I will be checking weapons and finalizing tactics for the assault. In other words, we will be wholly occupied with preparations.
Very well then. I have no more questions. Board the flagship and await my command.
Acknowledged. Sargona is already dead. He just doesn't know it yet.
Okay. So we have our mission to accomplish. But first, let's go get that loot. 3, 5, 4, 1. I believe that's what we determined, wasn't it? 3, 5, 4, 1. Got it. And we get interrogation goggles. These goggles grant the wearer +5 bonus to lore Xenos. They also grant +10% hit chance against Xenos. Interesting. Psyker's footwear. These boots grant their wearer +3% dodge until the end of combat for each psi power they use. And it stacks. And fireproof cape. The wearer of this cape is immune to burning. Also, whenever the wearer ends their turn, burning is removed from all adjacent allies. Wow, that's a nice one. Okay, well, let's get that collected. See if anybody can use any of that. Don't need the Xenos headpiece just yet. Let's check out the boots. No, I like my movement points, so I don't want to give up my boots. That only leaves Adira in our current layout. Ooh, and she doesn't have boots. Perfect. She doesn't need Xenos headpiece either. The fireproof cape. Argenta. No, I like hers. Cassie is not wearing a cape. Perfect. Okay, good deal. Wonderful. Okay, now let's away to the Shadow Quarter, shall we? Shadow Quarter. Argenta gestures for your attention. Rogue Trader, I would like to remind you about Reverend Hieronymus's request. He asked us to search for a potential cultist den in Footfall Shadow Quarters. Remind me, Argenta, what was it that Reverend Hieronymus wanted from us exactly? He told us to look for sun symbols inscribed in blue and gold. Hieronymus' congregation suspects certain suspicious individuals of heresy, and rumor has it that this is how they mark their hideout. You seem a bit weighed down by something. Is everything all right? What? No. Argenta shakes her head and rubs her temples tiredly. Apologies, Rogue Trader. Being here on Footfall is, well, difficult for me. It's a minor, personal weakness, but I'm as ready to fight as ever. It will have no effect on my combat skills. Argenta, if something is troubling you, tell me. Maybe I could help. Argenta shoots you a wary look. I suppose I could share it with you, but the tale will be long, and I'll have to start from the beginning. I wasn't born in the Expanse, you know. I was sent here to be a guardian of a reliquary on Footfall, but my ship became caught in a warp anomaly, and although it lasted only days for those on board, decades had flown by in real space. When at last I arrived on Footfall, it felt like I had been erased from time. No one was waiting for me on this side of the mall. The people who were supposed to greet me, who knew of my imminent arrival, had died. The reliquary that should have been mine to safeguard had instead been taken under the protection of Reverend Hieronymus and his brethren. They were more than up to the task. They had no need of my help. Footfall became my cage. I didn't know who I was or what purpose I had here. The way back to Calixus seemed like another trap. Even if I were to find a ship headed there, my sector, my order, they too would have lived decades without me by that point. Whenever I'm reminded of those months spent on Footfall, it feels like I'm falling into a pit. I hope the rumors of cultists turn out to be true. I can't wait to prove with my bolter that the world and the Imperium need me. So, how did your stay on Footfall come to an end? Did something change? Yes. A sign, almost a portent, showed me the right path. But it's not something I can speak of like this, on the street in this den of malice. Let us be on our way. All I'll say is that on Footfall I met Lady Theodora and joined her, and that was the end of my languishing in this place. You know Footfall better than me. Do you think the rumors of heretics are true? There was a time when I'd have said it was likely a fabrication. One can say many things about the Casbalica mission and the other shady operators on Footfall, but even those thugs are loyal to the Emperor, so they mercilessly exterminate outright heretics in their territory. But now? Heretics have launched an open attack on a rogue trader's ship. A member of your dynasty, Coonrad Voitvir, has turned out to be one of them, and Footfall itself is sinking deeper and deeper into madness. In these times of strife, I am willing to believe in heretics who openly perform their dark rituals and brazenly mark their dens with sacrilegious symbols. Well, let's get going.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
And there's a sacrilegious symbol right out of the gate. Let's have a look at it, shall we?
I hear strange breathing, full of poison and disease, masquerading as prayer.
Rising.
For one such as you, the most sincere prayer would be poison.
Rising sun symbol. It seems oddly repulsive, even sinister. Ho ho. Okay. It wasn't time that destroyed these tiles. They were definitely pried out with purpose and diligence. Interesting.
I always keep my options open.
Another symbol. Okay. We have a door.
I've read about this.
The fake door is connected to a mine trigger. Okay, so can I disarm it? Or if I click this, does it explode? I don't know. No, it just says it again. Okay, so we don't open the door. Got it. What we do, though, is level our characters. Fantastic. Executioner for Gladius. Finally, something we get to choose. Okay, we start out with Orchestrate Flame. Orchestrate flames. The target does not stop burning and no longer makes tests to stop burning. Additionally, if the target is an ally, every melee attack that ally makes inflicts full burning damage on targets of their attack, while they themselves now only suffer half burning damage from now on. Well, if you weren't sure, now you see why we became a flame or a pyromancer, flame psyker as it were. We are going to be setting ourselves on fire. How exciting is that? For Abelard and Arch Militant, we will be taking Wildfire. The Arch Militant's next attack this turn will cost 0 AP and will not count toward the attack limit per turn. The cost of this ability is reduced by 1 AP for every 4 stacks of versatility. Very nice. So, versatility is about changing up your attacks. It does not have to be melee to ranged. It can be different melee weapons. So, we have sword and then mace, which we are currently equipped with. So, we are changing up and getting our versatility handled in that way. Adira. For Overseer, we are going with Strategic Adaptation. Depending on their familiar's number of wounds, the Overseer or the familiar gains a special benefit for 1 round. Less than 50% wounds, so if our Raven is less than half health, the next 3 hits against the familiar have their damage reduced. If it has more than 50% wounds, the Overseer deals more damage with their next attack. If that attack kills the target, it does not count toward the attack limit per turn, and the Overseer regains any attack points spent on it. Very nice. I like that a lot. Okay, Argenta. We go with Wildfire. Oh, well, there we go. She's very similar to Abelard here. Wildfire. And switching her between her bolter and the shotgun gives her versatility. So we're working that up as well. For Cassia, we have Grand Strategist, and she will go with Point of Curiosity. All enemies in a 6-cell radius around the target point, up to 12 cells away from the navigator, must pass a willpower resistance test or immediately move 3 cells toward that point. The targets move even if they are stunned or immobilized. Very nice. So we are getting more control over the battlefield, which is lovely. And finally, Pascal will be getting Claim the Bounty. The bounty hunter makes a free single attack with the selected weapon. This attack always hits, does not end the bounty hunter's movement, but deals only 40% of the bounty hunter's usual damage. After each 3rd enemy killed by Claim the bounty hunter recovers +1 charge of Hunt Down the Prey. If Claim the Bounty kills a target marked as prey, the bounty hunter receives 2 AP. Very nice. Claim the Bounty. We're going to have to figure out how to use that effectively, but it is very cool that it is able to be used. We have some goods here. And of course it's the leaflet we should not be in the least bit surprised to locate. We've got some folks hovered around a barrel, burning barrel. And we have another sunburst here. Rising sun symbol. Oddly repulsive, even sinister. So none of that has changed.
Always keep your eye on the price.
And we need to remember combat is getting more difficult these days. And this looks like... Anvers Arsonist. So we are getting up to the combat area.
This is intriguing.
Or a combat area. Rising sun symbol. Who holds a flamer like that, you idiot? We're almost refueled here. We'll show you how it's done. I'm just not feeling it anymore, that's all. The guy's pretty much a cinder now. It was a lot more fun when he was alive and still thrashing about. Well, how disappointing for them, okay? Let's pop up, if we can. Try to get the whole crew up here. Looks like we've got everyone. Check out these goods. Okay. Looks like there is another way in here, maybe? I don't know if we want to split up. We'll try to approach it from this direction, I think.
Let us not dawdle.
Well, let's go ahead and push in. It's not an ambush, or shouldn't be, so we should be able to reposition.
I'll make an example out of you!
I'll level you!
Look at that! Here comes another training target for us. Fire it up, you lot! Prepare for battle. Get into position. Cassia goes first, as per usual. We definitely do not want her directly on the field. Let's move some other people first. Let's get Abelard out first. We'll put him up against the wall. Gladius can come out on this side. Where are the baddies? Actually, I think I've got these backwards. Let's do Abelard over here. And Gladius over here. That way. Abelard's getting close to the main bad guy there. He can do his tanking thing. And Gladius can start clearing out the rabble. Argenta... I'll bring her in here. Pascal. We'll pull him back. Adira. We can do behind Pascal. And Cassia. I guess here is a good spot for now, anyway. She has good access to everybody but Argenta, which is not actually great, because Argenta might be... no, I don't want her out in front like that. I'll pull her back here. Let's start battle. Cassia first. Let's hit Gladius here. Nope.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
See what, if anything, he can do out of the gate here.
I'll make it happen.
Lovely. Okay, that's his turn. If I bring Cassia up, just out of curiosity, Can do some pretty good work there, actually. Let's do
I am
that.
a navigator, not a servitor. Try to die with grace, at least.
Beautiful. Front line. Back line. And rear.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
In turn. Gladius gets his actual turn.
Another enemy down.
Beautiful. Hold up. We've got that one and Cinder over here. And then we've got a group of chappies in there as well. And we've got this guy here. Okay.
Your end was inevitable. On it. You never stood a chance.
Wow. That's some real work right there, buddy. We're not even using where it hurts yet. That is impressive stuff. Okay. I think I'm going to end him here. We've got this guy's probably going to come around and do some business. And then those three. But if I send him back here, he's out in the middle of everything. At least here he's got a little bit of cover. So we'll end that. Bring up Argenta. If I bring her here. Don't want to do that. That's a 3 AP.
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Nice. Very nice.
Faith
Run and
without
gun.
deeds is worthless.
Let's build up a little versatility here.
Strike is a prayer.
Beautiful. Only one of them left. Cinder dodged it, unfortunately, and got closer to me. But... Oh, yeah.
I am his will made manifest.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Doubt
buddy.
is for the weak.
How you
I'll
doing?
do it. You, my Emperor.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. I love Argenta. She might be my favorite character.
Just a minor
Let's make it
setback.
quick. Mere pain won't stop me.
My way.
Oh.
Who wants some more?
Ouch. Okay. Not nice, but alright. Let's relocate our Raven. Get it out here. Actually, that's a bad spot. Whoops, already did it. Okay. Let's get everybody buffed. And we'll use sensory deprivation on him.
Anything is.
Nope, that is good for now. I need to remind me to move the Raven when we come back, please. Don't let me forget. Okay. Brace for impact.
Victory is
Endure.
imminent.
Beautiful.
Indeed. Target well struck.
Nice. And see, now we have versatility stack 1. And then we can do get
I will
off
do
me.
my duty.
But he survived it.
Here we go. Let's get to it.
Okay.
My vow is to serve.
Do some joint analysis.
The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
We have claim the why do we have two claim the bounties? I don't know. But we can't get it in one hit, so
Prognosis is favorable.
nice. We get a second shot though.
Running binaric override.
Very nice. In turn. Okay. Cassia is up. Argenta's not a good choice. My character isn't either. We could try Pascal, I suppose. And reveal the light to
If I
Abelard.
may.
Give him a little buff there. Let's use Zone of Fear. Well, that'll make all of us move. I don't really want to do that. Point of Curiosity. Get the enemies grouped up a little bit for Gladius. And let Abelard get a shot in. Perfect. That was actually very useful. Well, I don't want to scatter them, so we'll end turn. And give Gladius a chance to get in here and get some work done.
I'll make it happen. Consider this a taste of what's to come. Another enemy down.
Beautiful. And let's take out
This
this
is good
fire
as done.
starter.
I'll see to you never stood a chance.
Lovely. And we've still got this chap in here. So let's do a little blood oath.
This could be an opportunity.
Yeah, we didn't get near far enough. We needed one more spot. He's already... How's my health doing? Not great. Not great. Okay. I am out of movement. I did not get what I needed out of that, so... Instead, I will heal myself a bit.
I owe you a debt.
In turn. Argenta is up.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Use concentrated fire.
Faith without deed eradicated.
Beautiful. Revel in slaughter. And we can't do run and gun because but we'll get it next round. Adira is up. She should be able to finish this guy off.
Cover me! Was that you?
Or she could miss entirely? Okay.
On it?
Who knew? Alright, in turn.
I've suffered worse.
Abelard.
It will be done. One fewer target.
There we go. Done and done. Beautiful. All these hand flamers we don't need. What did we get? Thunder Hammer. Two-handed melee weapon. I like that. Fire Blessed Carapace. Armor 45. Let's look Abelard, see what he thinks about it. So it's additional 5% armor. We would lose 2 armor deflection. I'm not a fan of that. Dodge penalty is 0.75 though, which is really nice. Character wearing this armor will dodge 1% of enemy attacks, so not a tremendous amount of dodging available. Reduces incoming damage by an average of 30%. This carapace grants its wearer +2 to deflection and +20% armor against fire damage, as well as immunity to burning. Base armor property +10% armor against melee attacks. That actually might be good for good old Abelard there. I like that a lot. I don't think we need the Thunder Hammer, though. Interesting. A note found on the body of Cinder, an Anvers leader. Let's look at this. A note found on the body of Cinder, an Anvers leader, mentioned a location. Apparently, it's near the Adeptus Amasecus. The turnoff is visible from the bar's entrance. It's worth taking a closer look at the belongings of those killed by the Anvers and searching for other evidence. The Anvers' brazen actions guarantee that they will give themselves away sooner or later. The location of the base has been found. Its entrance is somewhere in Sector 2 in the Shadow Quarters. The turnoff to the entrance can be seen from the Adeptus Amasecus. This should be enough to find the place. Okay. We are well on our way. Another fire grenade. Very nice. And there's another sun symbol. Rising sun symbol. Oddly repulsive, even sinister. Bring everybody in. Cassia needs a top off.
Fate and fortune favor the bold.
I can see bright colors again.
Lovely. And we need to fill up our med kits. Abelard is good. Adira's good. Raven doesn't get anything. Argenta's good. Cassie is good. And Pascal is good. Okay. Let's check this armor. I think I'm putting on the Fire Blessed Carapace for Abelard. Don't really like the way it looks, but we've already seen that these enemies we are going up against are absolutely using fire pretty heavily. And he's going to be our frontline tank, so that's going to help him out. Hopefully, anyway. And his cape, when he uses Endure, it immediately removes burning, toxin, and bleeding. Now, he's immune to burning because of the carapace, so just all kinds of really interesting stuff going on there, I think. Okay. We'll have to get back out here later. This was just the original walkway we were going down. There's the door we found that had a mine on it. Let's see if the entrance is marked on the map. It is not. So we are going to have to run across it, it looks like. So let's get moving. Let's get everybody and get moving. There we go. And a worker.
I always have a backup plan.
Got some goods here. Vesper is on the job, making sure we see all the goods. I love him. He is my favorite because he makes sure I don't miss anything. Pascal?
The machine gun grants me insight.
Does he indeed?
Acquisition is possible.
Another sunburst. Clear the rubble. 85% chance on athletics.
Experience? Nothing matters more.
Excellent. Abs. Got some goods here. Grenadier's gloves. Using grenades costs 1 AP less for the wearer. Enemies suffer 2 additional damage from the wearer's grenades. We're not using grenades very... Ooh, Cybermastiff, cool. That'll be good for Solomorne later. We're not using grenades much at the moment. Maybe I need to start implementing those more? If you have a lot of experience with the game, talk to me about that. Right now, it just
We should deal with this.
hasn't seemed necessary. Got another sunburst here. A well-worn poster with a call to serve the Imperium. We've got another leaflet. More goods. Got a servitor. Some guys whomping the crap out of someone. Can we stop that? Not from here, we can't. How do we... No, I don't think so. There's not a way over there, we just get to watch it. Awesome. Oh, whoops. Wastewater, unsafe for drinking even after purification, and now being used for laundering. Yuck. From behind the closed doors, you hear the humming of primitive washing machines and the voices of laundry workers singing simple songs. So you can't drink it, but we'll wash your clothes with it. Yay. Just don't put your clothes in your mouth, I guess. Two families were found dead in the southern blocks of the Shadow Quarters. Their bodies covered in sores. The area has been quarantined, and all who breach the restrictions are being killed on the spot. No surprise there.
2 rations for me and my husband. Here's the stamp, the signature. It's all in order.
You sure this is a stamp? I can't make it out at all, and the letters don't fit in the boxes. These papers wouldn't be fake by any chance, would they? A ship owned by House von Valencius has arrived on footfall. A group of Anvers who tried to attack the arrivals were promptly and thoroughly thrashed. No, Warden, the papers are real as they come. The body of the leader of the Grey Knives gang was found in a dump, and her head in another dump. Disrespecting the Casbalica isn't good for you. Okay, I'm done reading all the stuff. So let's have a look-see, look-surroundy. People in the crowd look greedily at goods for which they have neither coupons nor money.
Cast your eye there.
And looks like we have another sunburst. Yep. It's just giving us a box for it there, I guess, which is interesting. The indistinct hum of discontented voices hangs over the crowd. The street vendors seem to be lacking some essentials, and in their impotence, the people do not hold back their angry exclamations and curses. The greatest source of crime is poverty. Oh, Lore Imperium 65. Not great, but let's give it a look-see.
As it should be.
Oh, we got it. Under a layer of rust, scratches, and ancient paint, the silhouettes of long-erased letters are barely visible. Undoubtedly, in the past, this filthy sign was adorned with the proud name of the bureaucratic heart of the entire Imperium, Adeptus Administratum. But now it's the Adeptus Amasecus, or Amasecus? I'm not sure I've heard anybody say the name. It's alcohol, though. That part I got.
Keep your wits about you.
The Martyr's Endurance. This is not where the bad guys are. This is, well, there are probably bad guys in here, but this is a bar where we were told to go and meet with that woman that we met at the Liege's palace. Interesting. Techies.
This place has so many colors. Every shade I can imagine is floating in the air.
Colors, you say? Next, she'll be asking us to take her on a tavern crawl. Spare me.
Under the floor, you can see the remains of the void ship's life support system. It seems that whoever dismantled the vessel decided to simply leave it in place.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Oh, we got goods down here. Vesper's telling me. Nice. Thank you, Vesper.
Over there.
What did you see? Oh, over there. Yes, indeed. Go get it, Abs. To the goods, Abs. Good man.
I always keep my options open.
We got more. 75%.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Indeed. Medicaid 100%.
That's how it's done.
Stuck to the plates are lumps of sawdust, toxic waste that is sometimes passed. Toxic waste that is sometimes passed off as ordinary nutritious starch. Not great, not great.
Let us not dawdle.
Logic 95?
The machine god grants me insight.
The menu system of the Adeptus Amasecus looks eerily similar to the design of the internal scan of the fuel compartment. Someone has inserted new data into the void ship's cogitator left over from ancient times. Okay. Very nice,
I
very
always
nice.
have a backup plan.
Gorde Skatov. We have a named person here. The flabby man in worn clothes is sighing sadly over a glass of murky booze. Only when he looks up at you do you notice his eyes, large, piercing, and full of sorrow. A stark contrast to his unkempt appearance. Could it be that someone actually wishes to keep me company? Allow me to introduce myself. Gorde Skatov, architectural historian. You look deeply despondent over something. What happened? Gorde sighs heavily. Here I go again, pouring my heart out to have you disappear in 10 minutes, just like everyone before you. But all right. Here is the story of Gorde Skatov, the unluckiest historian in the Imperium. I was born 2 sectors away from here. My family was quite influential, which allowed me to dedicate myself to my great passion, the history of Imperium architecture. I spent a number of years studying every scholarly work there was to find on this art, and then, once I had inherited my family's fortune, I traveled and documented the development of architectural thought on different worlds, until one day, oh, that accursed and blessed day, until one day I came into possession of something quite special. Gorde pulls what looks like a book or an album with a homemade leather cover out of his bag. Both the pages and the binding look well worn. Here it is, my undoing. This is an authentic booklet titled Dwayne's Design, one of the thousands printed centuries ago in the times of Footfall's construction. What a curious read. Please, tell us more. As Cassia takes a shy step forward, Gorde smiles and shows her some of the faded pages. Footfall's founder, Lord Possumus, was obsessed with his creation's grand future. This booklet describes in detail what Footfall was meant to become upon completion. Dozens of asteroids turned into glorious palaces, temples, massive bridges spanning the void itself, and the marvelous flying buttresses, the archivolts of the exterior arches, the elegant arrangement of balusters. And the interior, polar forest 10 stories tall and more than a kilometer long, cyclopean light tubes that catch the light of Furibundus and use it to brighten the halls and the hearts of the asteroids, stained glass windows and mosaics, bas-reliefs and statues. Engrossed in his own description, Gorday stands up and starts tracing the outlines of arches and galleries with his hand. Adira blinks sleepily, barely suppresses a yawn, and starts looking around with a bored expression. Keep listening. Emerging from his reverie, he catches himself, blushes slightly, and loudly flops back onto his seat. I apologize. I got carried away. But you must understand how deep an impression this booklet left on me when my young self picked it up. I simply couldn't think about anything other than Footfall. I was ready to give my life just to see this incredible station. And of course, no matter how hard my friends and loved ones tried to dissuade me, I gathered all my savings and set out on a journey. It is no easy feat to cross 2 sectors, especially for a common citizen, albeit one who has some resources at his disposal. I had to change one ship after another, at times being forced to stay on transfer worlds waiting for a vessel headed in the right direction or for warp disturbances to subside. The voyage took me a total of 107 years. In real space-time, of course. For me, it was much less than that, somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 or 35. And then, after all those years, having spent all my savings, I reached my dream. And what did I see? A dump in place of the exquisite portico. Metal anthills clinging to the columns. The marble tiles pilfered by paupers to use as cladding for their hovels. Gordy hangs his head. It's been a dozen years since I came here, and I still haven't recovered from the shock. I had suspected that not everything from the booklet would exist in reality, but I never expected to see Footfall in such a sorry state. It's like stumbling upon the horrible decomposing corpse of your beautiful beloved. Argenta's gaze darkens. The warp, like a shameless thief, is guilty of stealing the short span allotted to his servants. But what sense is there in spending half your life on such an enterprise, only to then lose your spirit and waste the remaining half on nothing at all? So then ink and paper too can lie and cause pain. Cassia sighs sadly. Does this mean that all I have ever read about will one day disappoint me with the ugliness of reality? That is a tragic tale indeed. I wish I could see Footfall the way its creator had envisioned it. Now that we can only dream of and yearn for. Be that as it may, I just wanted to say thank you for hearing me out. Over the dozen years I've spent on Footfall, not one person has hung around long enough to listen to my story through to the end. It's such a delight to have shared everything that's been weighing on my mind. I'm poor as a church mouse these days, but I still have something to offer as a token of my appreciation. After studying the booklet thoroughly, I discovered something quite interesting. A ciphered message scattered throughout its pages. Taking the form of a riddle, it describes certain places of interest on Footfall. I believe it to be the work of the booklet's creators. What if these riddles lead to something? A wondrous discovery. I will gladly share what I've been able to learn with you. Riddles? A flash of burning, almost childish curiosity brightens Cassia's austere countenance. Have you not tried to make this discovery for yourself? It might help someone poor as a church mouse to regain some of their lost riches. I have, of course, but I'm an old man who is blind in one eye and can barely move his legs. I never found anything, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to find. Tell me about the places these riddles lead to. The first location from the riddles isn't far from here. It's a bridge that was supposed to go through the center of this district and into the void toward the neighboring asteroid. Only a couple of its spans were actually built, and even those now lie in ruins. Still, if the cache survived after all those years, it's there somewhere. The second location is the lantern of the Great Cathedral. A lantern is a small tower on top of a dome. You've seen Footfall's atrium, haven't you? The whole atrium is just the nave of the former little cathedral. The liege's entire so-called palace would have fit inside what was meant to be naught but a single room. The great cathedral, had it been built, would have been even bigger. But alas, its construction was just getting underway when Dwayne died and the work stopped. The lantern from its dome, however, had already been built and survived. It was brought inside the atrium and dubbed the Chapel of St. Drusus the Warrior. And that's all I know. I wish you luck in your search. I must take my leave. Good luck to you, Goodman. Okay. Leftovers of pitiful food are stuck to the sides of the plates. All right, folks, we are in the Adeptus Amasecus. We have come back to Footfall, spoken to Solomorne, got him on board for his quest that we need to accomplish before he can become a member of our crew. Had another combat with the Anvers, which we handled quite well, I thought. Went through that one pretty nicely. And then we have come into the Adeptus Amasecus, and we have walked around the bar. We have yet to walk around the other side where I think we will be meeting Jay, but we will need to do that next time. This has been Disabled. My name is Ed, and this has been the fantastic Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, as that helps me out tremendously. Until we meet again, make your way with love and light. Thank you so much for joining me on the journey today, and goodbye.